is a detective superintendent and Australian Federal Police agent. In his career, he's been the bodyguard for Australian Prime Ministers and tracked down country's most wanted fugitives.
We have a unique set of skills.
Now he's hunting down TV fugitives for Channel 10's newest show, Hunted. Please welcome David Craig.
David, good morning. How are you doing?
Great, thank you. Good morning.
David, I feel like, you come across as a very, very nice man, but I also feel like a very scary man. You're drinking from a coffee right now. Could you use that as a weapon if you wanted to?
Possibly I could use it for something.
Yeah, you could.
Because, it's just to describe, David, you've got a bit of an aura about you, you're very sharply dressed in a suit, and I like how your coffee is open, much like a New York cop, like doing doing an interrogation or something like that.
Let's talk about Hunted. So, do the fugitives even have a chance of winning? I mean, you spy on them with CCTV, you tap their phones. How on earth do they ever avoid you?
Look, it's not like Hollywood. It is actually quite a task. You can imagine we had no heads up on these people. We had no idea their names or anything about them until minutes before. We scrambled the chopper, got patched through live, and we started monitoring from there. But we've got ground teams all around Victoria that I'm sending to try and catch these people, and our ground hunters are doing an amazing job on the ground. It's a lot harder than what it looks. So, I mean, we could see them on the chopper, but we have to actually put a hand on them for them to be caught.
Yeah, right. And of course, if you're just tuned in, you don't know what this new show is on Channel 10 Hunted. Basically, it's like, people start somewhere, they run, and
they start in the Melbourne CBD, and then they're off.
They sprint, and they got to try and run away. I mean, I'm just excited to see a new, fresh idea and concept on TV. That's always cool. And obviously, the famous movie saying goes, David, that to catch a crim, you need to think like a crim. What would you say your strategy would be to avoid detection? I mean, you've obviously got quite a bit of skill in this area, or is that just going to ruin? Are people going to listen to that and then the show will be ruined?
Season 2 won't happen.
No, that's a good thing. It's not that I could give you my best answer, which I won't, but. It still wouldn't be a solve-all because it all depends on human dynamics, the environment you're in, what technology you've got or you may have, or where you're going to hide in plain sight or in a remote area, off-grid, on-grid. It's just so varied.
If I was playing, David, I think, and I know what you're saying, it's subjective, like every case is unique, but if I was playing, I think I would go regional to try and get away from all of the cameras. Would that be a smart tactic, or am I more susceptible in the country?
Well, there's pros and cons with either one. Yeah. In the city, there's so many people and it's easy to blend in, but then there's so many cameras and so much tracking.
Yeah.
But then in the country, if you're really off-grid, you're going to stand out as a newcomer.
Yeah.
And then locals that I might talk to or try and influence into lagging you, giving us information about your location, they'll go, oh, yeah, there is a new guy just staying at the caravan park up the road.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
Yeah, right.
So I've got to take out everyone that I meet in the country. I get it. Okay.
You know what I'd do? I'd go into the bloody sewers. I'd be like Batman. I'd just be in underpasses and that sort of stuff, you wouldn't be able to get me there. That's my plan anyway. I would honestly love to be on a show like this. It's like most of the time, Big Brother, I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to do, even the jungle ones. But I'm like, this would be fun. I'd love to see how long you could actually go.
Yeah, please, if there's a season 2 coming and you do it from Adelaide, let Liam and I be some of the contestants.
We would get a run when you're like 15 series in and you've done like 6 celebrity ones by then, and it's like the real bottom of the barrel, like D grade. Which celebrities have we got this time?
It is refreshing to see a new show. Hunted continues tonight and tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. on 10. David, while we've got you, we know you've been a bodyguard for 3 Prime Ministers, Bob Hawke, Paul Keating, John Howard. Who is the hardest to guard?
The difficulty depends on the environment and the intelligence at the time, the threat assessment that's done on the location and the person and what's happening. So it all varies. It's right.
So there wasn't one of those 3 like running off more than the other, and you're like, where are they? Oh,
well, John did like his morning runs, didn't he, in the tracksuit? Did you ever have to go, hey, John, look, not today, mate. Like, we've actually had a few threats and that sort of thing. Did that ever have to happen?
Yeah, no, I never had to, give him an ankle tap as he left the motel room or anything like that.
But
All right, well, as I've said, make sure you check it out. Hunted continues tonight and tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. on 10. David Craig, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks, guys.